Hey scrappers, if you're looking to figure out what materials you should sell this week or hold this week, now is the time to do it. Our weekly report is going to give you that information, up-to-date market news, pricing. Let's get right into it and we'll talk about it inside. Hey scrappers, Tom here from the iScrap app, and today is Wednesday, January 21st, 2026. Hope you are doing well, scrapping often, enjoying what seems to be a weekly all-time price hit on one of these metals that we'll be talking about. But before we get into the videos, don't forget to like and subscribe to our page. And if you're looking for more of these metal tips and information on the markets, our members only videos get posted throughout the weeks on different kind of market mashups, specifics into different commodities. So by all means, check that out. We started that a short while ago, and we have lots of members that ask us to make videos, and only the members end up getting them. So there's my YouTube kind of member only pitch here. So what's going on with the markets? Copper week over week went from a all-time record high to maybe down 3 or 4%. So last week we were talking copper prices were trading well over $6 a pound. This afternoon we're looking at the markets. They're around $5.76. What's going on? So I actually called a trader this morning and I talked to them for about 30 minutes about the markets. And I said, what are you hearing? And what they're starting to hear is that different copper warehouses, whether they're mills, whether they're brokers that have physical assets, they're starting to see replenishment. So for the last 30 days, we've seen these prices increase. We've seen markets go up. We saw the end of the year, and then we saw the beginning of the next year with these really high prices. So what we've started to see is prices going up. We have started to now see the supply levels increasing for copper. And I'm not surprised to see the markets dropping, but here's where I'm really optimistic. We didn't see markets go from 5 to 6 back to 5 in the same cycle. We may end up having a floor for copper of 550, 560 a pound. And on a trading level, that's great because that gives us really strong activity for the rest of this year. And when you're looking out in advance, where's copper going to be needed? How's it going to be needed? You know, we continue to hear infrastructure, data centers, infrastructure, data centers. You know, for the last few years, we talked about how the EV push was supposed to be a thing. We've now seen the Trump administration roll a lot of those things back, whether they're charging stations or commitment to electric vehicles. So there was supposed to be this massive transfer into a lot of copper needed, and it still is going to be there, but it's not going to be on the electric vehicle side of things as much as it is on the power distribution, creation for data centers and the like. And what's really interesting is a lot of these data centers used to have to rely on utilities to get their energy. We're now seeing the Trump administration giving permission to these data center owners, Microsoft, Meta, Google, and many others, to both own and operate their same power source, which is really interesting and something that hasn't been done before. And we're also seeing the approvals for these, instead of taking sometimes 6 to 18 months, we're seeing approvals happening for power plant growth and just the permitting happening in a matter of weeks. So that's really great because it's going to accelerate a lot of these data centers going online. It's going to accelerate a lot of the demand for coppers. And don't forget, this is not just something that's happening in the United States. This is happening throughout the world in some way, shape, or form, and in some scope, right? You know, it's not just the United States building data centers. It's Mexico, it's Canada, it's China, Saudi Arabia, different parts of the Middle East, the European Union countries, China, if I didn't say it already, and so many others. So this build out to be able to store, house, use data, then be able to quantify AI, be able to use that data in a way that helps benefit both companies and people alike. It's going to be really interesting. In fact, I read an article the other day and they talked about Tesla. And they talked about how these new Optimus robots that Tesla has coming out could be way bigger than any amount of Tesla cars that were ever built. They were just saying how these robots are being able to do things from washing dishes to doing laundry, and the amount of data that they're going to need, and then the metals that they're going to need to have all the wiring throughout, it's not going to be fiber optic, it's going to be copper. So we have a really interesting transition kind of into a Jetsons type of future right now. It's going to be interesting to see how things go, but copper is really healthy, and even with a little bit of a pullback, my warehouse is empty of copper. We have a 2 to 3 day turnover. So if you're asking me, Tom, should I hold or sell? I'm selling as quickly as I get it in. And when I'm looking at these different materials and I'm seeing these prices going up, what do I think is going to happen next? Well, I don't think we're going to see a massive pullback. I do think that there's going to be profit taking happening. You know, we saw copper hitting all-time price highs the other day, 40 cents down since then. That's a lot of money. That's way more than pretty much the profits that scrapyards are making. So quick turns, 20 cents a day, 40 cents in a week, they do affect things. So when you start to report your prices, when you go to see some of the prices that other people have put out there, pay really close attention. We have any questions? Yeah, great.
Question from Matthew.
Matthew, thoughts on collecting and hoarding copper to sell in bulk in years to come as an individual scrapper? You know, Matthew, I don't know if you like gambling. If you do like gambling, go for it. If you like having kind of a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush, selling copper all-time high prices is a great thing. Do I think copper is going to go up? Yeah, absolutely I do. And if you don't need the money and you enjoy collecting, you know, hey, listen, take a chance and hold on to it. I don't think that we've had scrappers before talk about, oh, if we all hold together, it's going to change things. That's not going to happen because the manufacturing industry and the number of people that don't pay attention to copper prices and they just sell what's in their van, truck, car, whatever it is, that's not going to stop. But we are going to see these prices improving. We do think that we're going to see more of a stability, and I think we're going to see growth. So thank you for the question. Now, let's talk about steel prices. I saw another $5 a ton getting added this week. I know it's not a lot, but think about what I talked about last year. Not a lot of good pieces of information. And one of the videos that we're going to be talking about in our members only section is going to be a heavy impact of gas and oil prices on the markets. Now, steel prices are stronger than they were, starting to show signs of improvement, but not to the level where we're like, oh my gosh, go and look for all steel. Because what we've actually been seeing happening at smaller yards is a lot of people are driving right by steel on the side of the roads, unless it has some type of electrical component to it, and then it can take the copper and the aluminum out. So steel prices are still not that strong. I do see signs of improvement. I'm seeing mills starting to buy more. And then I talked to an exporter of steel yesterday who also said that they're starting to get more purchase orders from Turkey, from India. And these are going to be things that we look for. But again, I'm not holding any steel. We got a question. Fred Achenbach, 4192. When the price of copper goes up or down, how does that dictate the price of copper and aluminum radiators? It's a great question. Really great question. It's a percentage basis. So generally, if you take 100 pounds of aluminum copper radiators or ACRs and you strip them down, you're going to say 70% of the weight is aluminum, 30% of the weight is copper, and that could vary. It could be 60-40, sometimes even 50-50. So when you see aluminum prices going up and copper prices going up, which is what we've seen, then you're going to see the ACR rates going up. If you see one of them going up much higher, then it's going to be on a percentage basis. So again, let's just say it's 50-50. Out of 100 pounds of ACRs, 50 pounds is copper, 50 pounds is aluminum. Then it's math. We have some really great videos that we've done on math and percentages, but if aluminum is $1 a pound, right? So you have $50 in aluminum, and copper is $3 a pound, you have 150. Copper goes to $4, well, naturally you're going to see the price go up, and that's how it's going to be affected. Another question. LV Malls plays, hey, Tom, if nickel prices are so high, why are stainless steel prices still terrible? Great question. And we're going to be talking about that in our members only section. Stainless steel prices may be improving, but check out our members only section the next few days. We're going to have a video talking about that. And it's nice to see nickel at 52-week highs, but you have to become a member to see more. What else is going on with the markets on a converter side of things, sponsored by RRCats.com? I don't have confetti. I don't have like a hat to put on my head, but we just saw today all-time record high prices on platinum. So whatever thing that you can blow, whatever kind of New Year's things that we can go with, all-time high prices on gold last night, over $4,800. All-time high prices on platinum, over $2,800 an ounce. And we're seeing converter prices at the highest levels that we have in about 3 years. That's really great. And what makes me more excited is some of the things we've talked about in the previous weeks. Europe rolling back their EV mandate, more Americans being able to buy American-made cars and then start to take the interest payments and take it off of your taxes. So these are a lot of things that you want to look out for, but we are seeing higher prices, and that's really great. Don't forget, in our members only section this week, we're going to be talking about different things, from what gas prices mean for scrap, how nickel is affecting stainless, what's going on with the tungsten and carbide market, and a bunch more. So this is Tom from the iScrap app and Rockaway Recycling. Today is Wednesday, January 21st, 2026. And until next week, I'll scrap.